Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to the premiere of the Wendigos, a RimWorld Twitch Toolkit series. So, a quick recap if you haven't gone over the primer. Well, here we are. We have got some simple rules. Our Wendigos here don't have complex systems of governance. Basically, Wendigos must be flesh eaters. So anyone added to the tribe has to be a cannibal before they are recruited. All non-Wendigo factions are enemies. We make no allies. Everybody is flesh and leather. The Wendigos may only call one place home, which means that there is no exploitation of additional resources on other tiles. We raid for what we want. The goal is to find a way to the All Black. That, of course, is just Wendigo speak for space. Yes, indeed. Our Wendigos are going to become airborne reavers at some point. So, I wanted to go over some of the premise and factions before I really get started here. So I have the bot disabled, just so that I can go over the very least. So first things first, the world. We are in the middle of a mostly frozen world, but it is full, absolutely chock full of meaty, fleshy targets, as you can see here. So we are starting on sea ice in the middle of this giant frozen continent. As you can see, there's a lot of neighbors around. This is called Nova Scotia. This is a reference to the Algonquin who originally lived in Nova Scotia. Wendigos are an Algonquin mythical lore. As you can see in the sea ice here, it is not particularly cold. Unlike sea ice survival in the past, where would-be raiders would freeze to death, and it would pretty much cause no conflict, no combat. This sea ice isn't ice cold. It's pretty survivable. I mean, you don't even really need a parka to survive this. As far as factions go, we've got the Crown. Now, some people might notice that these faction names are references to the east coast of the U.S., and other places like that. So you got the Crown, which is the royals. This sort of represents the British monarchy before the American independence. Algonquin Wendigos. So our Wendigos do have an ally, the Algonquin Wendigos. They are a trading ally. They're the only ally we're ever going to have. We've got New Amsterdam and Jamestown, the civil and rough Outlander unions. The Croatan tribe, the nation of Abenaki, the kinship of Pakumtuk, and the Providencia, a pirate band. What else is there to show? Not much else. I better just get started. So for everybody that just cheered bits and resubbed, thank you so very much. I have a little gift for you. My own little Wendigo. He wants to say hi before we start. More or less, I want to take this little costume off of him because he is in no way comfortable in this thing. But we got Wendigo Yoda. He is also, if you happen to be a subscriber, an emote for you all. So let's connect the Twitch Toolkit. Our starting characters are 5 subscribers just like you. Oh man, there is going to be a lot of loot boxes to open and all that. There is one other thing that I wanted to mention. You can convert Yoda coin to Twitch Toolkit currency. I just hope that it doesn't backfire so quickly. So the first things I want to do is to set up sort of a location for us to work in. Set up our priorities. And construction, hunting. So for the characters here, we have got a father and 2 daughters and his son-in-laws. That is sort of the long and short of it. So we've got Glitch here, who is a cannibal brawler, tough, very much our crafter, a little bit of our intellect. We've got Perpetual, who is melee construction mining, with some social in there as well. Sylvanti, who is our jogging hunter. who's sanguine, so she'll remain happy. We've got Wolf here, shooting, construction, cooking, social, transhumanist, cannibal, and bloodlust. Oh, and then Sylvanti, of course, let me just go back, is, yeah, sanguine jogger. And then Chelsea, who is a bloodlust, tough cannibal. So we have got a full court, so to speak. So kicking off right at the start, words, sending me some cloth. One thing I need to do is to get a very basic base setup. Now we, probably no surprise to you all, have an extraordinarily limited amount of resources. So I have to min-max my construction projects to the best of my ability. You're already sending me some beer and herbal medicine and components. These things are going to be landing a little bit everywhere. So if you take a look at the item list, you might have already noticed that it is not very expansive. There's a very limited amount of stuff that you can send me, mostly just drugs, not even food. Because one of the challenges of playing on sea ice is resource scarcity. So we start off with about 1,000 wood and some pemmican, barely any silver, and barely any weapons here. And then we have a few ship chunks, but that's about it. Oh, other things to show. So the full mod list is on the Wendigos website, if you're curious. But one of the important things here is we've got bones, EPOE prosthetics, vanilla expanded art, and then of course the main. One thing you might notice is all of the research past sort of the medieval research here, extraordinarily expensive. Electricity at 32,000, microelectronics at 60,000. The intent here is we don't do our own research. We rely on raiding and trading for research. We don't create it from nothing, I guess is the best way to put it. All right, so I'm creating a little starter building here. We've got some luciferium, beer, tea, cloth, ambrosia, psychite tea, components, herbal meds, beer, cloth. Oh boy, you guys are sending a lot. And you're pushing out the hype train. All right. Yoda's a little sad. I'm trying to disrobe him right now. Come on. This is the way. There we are. There's our buddy. So thank you all for the starter gifts. All right. First thing I want to do is to get the campfire up. Just because it is not frozen cold like Sarah Lear-faced doesn't mean we can stay outside safe and protected for very long. So a whole lot of cloth coming down from you guys. I'm sort of curious if this is going to be enough for me to make bedrolls. We don't even have complex furniture yet. We started with the very basics of technology. We essentially have nothing. So the first thing I want to do is to prioritize Glitch here to work our research bench. So if I take a look at social, Glitch, as I mentioned, has 2 daughters, Chelsea and Sarah, Sylvanti, and then 2 son-in-laws. So this group is all related. That's the way they're going to start off. No, I think... Let's see. You are not a mod yet. Hope that's enough. Oh, right, he's not here. Trying to mod someone who's not even present. So as you can see, there's loot boxes. I'm now on the latest version of Twitch Toolkit, so there's some extra bells and whistles. It's also missing some features, but the extra bells and whistles should be pretty good. So there is loot boxes, which you can open once per the start of each stream. And that's going to give you the option to get the Mark of the Beast amount of currency. Thank you all for your additional resources. All right. I don't think... Because we don't have a beacon of any sort, the gifts here are just landing kind of everywhere. Another thing I ought to do is to queue up some hunting and to get a butcher table with a dumping stockpile of corpses, not chunks. Some ambrosia and more cloth. Okay, who's running hypothermia? Perpetual, you get inside. You're going to get frostbite. Alright, I'm going to min-max some of their... Here, consume the ambrosia. First thing I want to do is put them on a no drugs policy. I'll fix this later. And then put them on a clothing policy where they don't wear tainted or tattered. Okay, let's get everyone inside. If some of the starting characters here, if you exist in... yeah, Perpetual's getting very frozen already. Another thing I want to do is to make sure it's Dr. Care No Meds, so we don't burn through our medical supplies while I'm cold. Let's go ahead and put a sleeping spot here. I'm going to forbid the door so that everyone warms up and I ditch the hypothermia effects. Now, Glitch is already fine. And Perpetual won't lose any toes or pinkies or anything like that. Okay, hunting a snow hare. Thank you for all the cloth, guys. This should be helpful. The first thing I'm probably going to do is a bedroll. I don't have complex furniture, so I'll have to make it sleeping bags. That's all I know how. That will start. And I'm going to give this to my hunters, Wolf and Sylvanti. Or, wait, who's Wolf's wife again? Yeah, Sylvanti. Okay, I got that right. Alright, Perpetual's healing up. And they are set to hunt. Glitch is already leveling up in intellect. Sylvanti is going to this Arctic fox. Oh boy. That's a bit trickier of a hunt, for sure. So now what I'm going to do is use up a very precious amount of wood here to... No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to make it in something else. Some more cloth coming down. Now, there is a possibility that the website goes down, to be perfectly honest. It has in the past, especially with an influx of users, despite the fact that it shouldn't. It happens. Okay, let's go to quests, reward preference. Make sure to not accept quests from anyone but the fellow Algonquin Wendigos. I don't want other questers. I'm going to try to raise the music up a little. I will have an entire playlist. Well, that's too loud. An entire playlist for everybody to download if you want it. I just haven't put that up yet. But it is all DRM-free, attribution-free music with no problems at all of reuse. Man, I can barely read chat between loot boxes and Yodacoin redemption. It is just a blur. So I apologize to anyone that is actually trying to convey useful information to me. I'm probably not able to read it. Right, so this Arctic fox is bleeding out, but is not currently dead. keep hauling all of this in. I'm sort of waiting to not waste my wood for any future furniture. I gotta be very careful about the amount of wood because that is my limiting factor for heat. I would be able to burn stuff like tattered clothing, tainted clothing, and corpses, but obviously burning corpses means to burn our own food supply. So I gotta be very diligent with the amount of wood that I use up. I'm going to make a bone table here. And let's make a bone stool. And here is the first Tory Talker vote. Just a little reminder that, of course, you have to whisper the bot for these. If you don't whisper the bot, the vote won't count. And we've got our first raid for Micklemoose from the Croatan tribe. Here comes Porlino the Logger. Not a cannibal. Now there is a, if I go over to scenario information here, non-player characters have a 5% chance to start with the trait cannibal. Basically, cannibalism exists in this world at a little bit of higher rate than normal, so that you can reliably find cannibals if you need it. Alright, Chelsea, I will help you out. Down he goes. Alright, another thing I want to do is, for now, I will save tainted clothing, but eventually I'm going to want to not use tainted clothing at all, not keep it, probably. So, our meals here, ideally, are just going to be made of human. That will keep moods up quite high. And we'll start cooking. And that gives us a little bit more bone, which means the possibility of some additional 2 ship chunks. Well, that was the first Tory Talker vote. Thanks, guys. Now, what I'm going to be doing, because I don't have any drugs scheduled or anything like that. Oh no, you get back there. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is just using it as an on-needed basis, making sure that people stay happy. Glitch, do you need... No, you don't need a meal. So the first thing I really want to address is bedding for everybody. I could, of course, make this out of bone or wood or steel, but I don't want to waste those resources just yet. Animal migration, mega spiders. That's, well, that's not meat that we'd want to eat. I'm just sort of weighing my options if I get to be picky or not. And that was sent. I guess having insect meat in a pinch wouldn't hurt. We could also potentially mix it with human meat to make the meals not so nasty. But, of course, mega spiders are super tough, and our little bows barely hurt them. We are leveling up in shooting, though, in this process. And Wolf and Sylvanti are both seemingly happy out here. Oh, there we go. Now that wants revenge. We'll probably only get the one. I don't think I have the ability to grab the others. You seem low on ambrosia? Yeah, it's going to be pretty impossible to get ambrosia out of here on the ice sheet. Alright, let's hold our ground. We've already shot your eye out, just about. Down it goes. Alright, so one thing I want to do is to... Currently, I'm not going to butcher insects. We will if we have to, but I don't want to unless I have to. And here's another bedroll. And then the last one will be for our friend Glitch. Wolf, just finish this off. Okay. So they're not sleeping on the floor. Priorities, people, priorities. Alright, and we have a little bit of dining spaces. It's a start. Alright, Glitch, you look like you could use a beer. And ambrosia and tea. We'll give you the full complement here. Even more luciferium. I'm excited to get to the point where I'll be able to use luciferium as a weapon. Alright, cargo pods coming down from Dub. We've got a bunch of simple meals made with mystery ingredients. And the slag. Slag is actually, surprisingly, going to be a very important currency out here on the ice. I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe some of you have looked at the mod loadout, and you can sort of deduce why. But if you haven't, again, not spoiling anything, it will be a currency much needed. An inspiration from Random Randy for Chelsea's surgery skill. I think what's happening, I do see that sometimes the Yoda coin redemptions aren't working. So there is a hook that allows it to work through the mod, but I think getting spammed, it's problematic. Hallis has a good point. How do I keep this fire going? Well, I have a very limited amount of wood. Enough to keep the fire going for a few years, but I'm going to need to find a more permanent solution than just continually burning my way through my wood supply, my ever-dwindling wood supply. So that is a next big hurdle, for sure. Alright, let's also bring those chunks in. Alright, complex furniture is done. Let's do complex clothing next to keep ourselves a little warmer. We're going to be hauling in the slag. Now, slag can be used for cover initially, and then when... well, eventually will be used for crafting as well. Now, I have a little bit of meat out here. The other problem, of course, is that these simple meals are going to decay pretty quickly if I don't house them. I don't want to use my steel in this way, or wood, but I'll have to be very careful about resource allocation. Now, what I could do is, let's do it like this. I'm going to shrink this zone a little. I'm going to at least build a roof over them. But some items deteriorate much faster than others. Whoa. I might actually be able to... let's do it. I'm going to do a steel wall. Because ship chunks keep landing on me. And that would give me... That is a somewhat renewable source of steel. And it's better than having our stuff decay. We've got some Abenaki coming in as well. Sent from Kalzamar. Little shaman here. Slothful chemical interest. And some friendlies from Zero Day. Oh, look at these guys. You are a damned one. Interesting. I like to fight my own fights, though. Okay, so we've got another Tory Talker boat up here. Can nudge this box up just a little. Alright, let's get the weapon skills for ourselves. As you can see, 2 of our guys are obviously bloodlust because they were very pleased to be doing that murder. And this offers us some additional human food, human meat. All right, what I'm going to be doing now is punching a hole between these 2 zones. I'm going to shrink this here. Out here, what I want is a stockpile of stuff that doesn't decay. So, non-decay stockpile, which is mostly just raw resources minus wood. And then in here, get rid of the raw resources plus wood. And then in this stockpile here, I want foods. I'm going to keep it very simple to begin. Alright, so here are the friendlies. I wonder if any of them are cannibals. Well, you aren't even a thing. You are a beast with no name. Whoa! We got some elephants wandering in. That's going to be a lot of bone and meat. Not gonna lie, and if I make them mad somehow, I do have allies on the tile. Oh wow, they're already hostile. Already a damned one died. Where is Wolf? Oh, he's coming. Now, what's most important is that these guys get hurt enough so that I can outrun them. And we're obviously going to have to make amends to the Wendigos. I will, however, take your gun. What's your move speed? 3-4? So I just need to be faster than 3-4 to not be caught. It's pretty easy to do. More cloth from Silvanti. Oh, Silvanti, you're here. I hope you like the character I made for you. Let me queue you up. There you are. Alright, let's get the other queues going right now for the assignments. Name queue. Glitch. Perpetual Gamer. I guess I can... There we are. Glitch, and would you kindly watch? Almost done. Alright, that should be nice and assigned. Thanks for letting me know. Drop me a message in the Discord moderator if I miss it here. Because it is surprisingly easy to miss. Alright, we're going to want to stand our ground a little bit here. We've got some stampeding elephants. And herbal meds coming down. Now this nail gun here is pretty short range, but it does spray, as you can tell. It's kind of fortunate that my allies died. Not going to lie. But I will have to gift them stuff to make amends. Alright, well there goes that. This should net a lot of bone and allow me to sizably expand my stocks. Oh boy, so much meat. Alright, all of this new bone. Let's go ahead and make... So bone is not a particularly strong building material, but it gets the job done. And it's not flammable either, which is, I think, the more important point. Alright, so what I'm going to do is an airlock between both sections here with the new resources that I was just awarded. And then a much larger living area. I might also need a larger stockpile, but it's getting to the point where I might be able to use my knowledge of clothing and make myself some clothing that might be helpful here. And obviously this, I'm going to remove fuel toggle. Okay. Let's reclaim as much of the wood as we can. Looks like it's bedtime for everybody. Alright, Glitch, what I'm going to do for you is a cloth bedroll. Now, these bedrolls can also be repurposed for travel, too. Obviously, it's very cold in here. Yeah, actually, Wolf, I'm going to wake you up and have you finish this project. For heat. Leaving it partially done is kind of a problem. Let's allow wood to be stored out here for now as well, because we're simply out of room. Gigabosh, thanks for all the bits. I'm sure there's been a ton of messages like that that I've just not noticed properly. So I apologize for that. A lot of resubs. Alright, so it's warming up a little bit, but this isn't where I want my campfire eventually. I want it west of here. And I'm going to be rebuilding this whole zone considerably. Alright, gotta get through those. So all this new meat, definitely want to probably cook up in bulk. And I'm gonna stop with the human meat for now. Let's bulk cook the elephant and the other stuff. Alright, there we go, Glitch has a bed. Reclaiming all of this wood here. And all that new bone from those elephants going to become a thing, as you can see. No, I'll leave that there. Let's move these beds. We got a new raid. More Croatan from the north. Ooh, you've got a toque. Maybe I can make you survive for once. Sylvanti and Wolf, you're on it. It'd be nice to be able to strip some enemies here. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Alright, your duster, well, okay. Some of it's useful, not all of it. Actually, are you a cannibal? Yeah, are! You're a kind cannibal, though, so I'm gonna kill you. There's no such thing as a kind cannibal. That doesn't make sense. I'm actually surprised that those two aren't somehow negating one another. I am surprised by that. Okay, and another raid from the Providencia. These guys are the pirates. Let's do wolf and perpetual. Oh, self-assign here. Glitch. Alright, there's only 14 hours, so it wouldn't hurt to pop a second one. Wolf, why are you cooking? Alright, Providentia. Let's go handle it. They might try to steal something from me. Wouldn't be surprised if they tried to grab like Luciferium or something expensive and just make off with it. Man, that nail gun's going to a lot of work. I'm gonna deprioritize Wolf's cooking. Be nice to my food. I think you and I know fat chance of that. Alright, so this is getting a little bit warmer. The double walls are for double insulation, and this is a brawler entrance here. In fact, I kind of screwed this entrance up, so let me fix that. There. This gives us, this sort of entrance here gives us an advantage for defenses. I'm gonna have to figure out stockpiles a little bit better. Right, this should not be a gather spot, because Ox, you are really making a mess of this. My stockpiles clearly are not large enough. So let's expand it. I forgot how much free stuff I'm gonna get as a result of murder and mayhem. Some advanced components for that fat bench. Oh man, that is so far in the future. It's almost inconceivable. Alright, so what I think I'm going to start to do is let's burn apparel that is useless to us. I'm going to have 2 burn apparel. One is going to be for all tainted apparel, because I have some bloodlust that could wear it, but there's no real need to keep it specifically. And then the other apparel will be for anything that is tattered, because no one wants tattered clothing. And this should free up some space here. And then what I'm going to start to do is, let's see, butcher table, art bench. Once I have complex clothing researched, I'll start to make human leather clothing for mood benefits, because everybody's happy except for Glitch. So Glitch, you are going to have the first mood, yeah, the first good clothing here. And here's another Tory Talker vote for you all. Yoda's quite pleased by the progress. Alright, yeah, that's freeing up a lot of space. Make sure to stack things up. And now this these meals won't decay, which is important. Look at the almost tie of the good and bad. What's gonna win, guys? Is anyone gonna put their thumb on the scale a little bit more? Oh, the bad's gonna win. Okay, so they're starting to become idle. Part of this is just because I don't have room for things. What I'm going to start to do is, I'm going to put my weapons out here. Because most of the weapons I've been given so far are bad, and they don't need to be clogging up my inner stockpile. If they have 1% left on them, they'll still smelt, right? Not that I'm any closer to a smelter. I'm arguably not close to a smelter. We've got some go juice coming in, and a level up for animals. Speaking of animals, nope, no wildlife. That is a lot of blood, though. The crown is attacking me. Ooh. These guys have a charge rifle and an LMG. A poor LMG, but an LMG. Oh, could you not fight at a time like this? knocking. Oh boy, you knocked out your own son. Hope you feel good about that. Alright, so obviously this one is leading. I'm going to vent out some of my heat that is in the bedroom so that I can offer up a better defense. Are you just aiming to steal? I think you are. Because I don't have this door closed. Okay. It is not time to patch. It is time to rip and tear. Oh, perfect. They decided to steal, which means they're not even going to offer up to defend themselves. Of course, the crown trying to steal stuff from me. That seems fitting. How fast can you run? I don't think you can run fast enough. I don't think you can run fast enough. We're gonna get you. We're gonna eat you. Oh, I think we caught you. Splat. That's what I thought. Alright, so Bounty, you're off the hook. Keep that door closed from here on out. But butchering those guys will help to build my walls. Jeez, Wolf. You've seen better days. Alright. Ox, I'm going to have to wake you up here. Close these doors. Be a little bit warmer. I'm going to put the pemmican in here. This is so that pemmican isn't food sensitive, and it puts a specific spot for pemmican, which I have a lot of. Lou getting his karma up. Hey, Yoda, come here. What about just the hat? Just the hat. It's riding too high, buddy. There. You're not going to be able to see anything, but... That's mascot. Alright, so in this food zone, let's take pemmican out. We are now butchering up. Got a lot of human leather. Actually, you know what? I don't know if insects yield bones. Let's see. They do. Okay, so I'm glad I butchered that insect. I don't think we're going to have any food shortages, so... I'm going to purposely put the insect meat out here, because I don't suspect I'll want it, ever. Then it frees up some additional space. The mod says any non-mechanoid? Yes. Well, there's some additional parts to the mod that remove insects, but I forgot if I had that installed or not. I don't think I do. Okay, there we go. No wildlife. Obviously, this zone is a lot larger, so I'll expand it out. Now, the next big step would be to run a trade over to the other Wendigos. in hopes to trade for technology. Because that is where we are severely limited right now. All right, let's allow wood back in to the inside. Collapse this down. Now, Wolf, go pick up your bow. No more fighting. Did you start this fight anyway? Oh, I don't know. But we're, I have, what, 2 bone? Okay. Man, Glitch, you are a crank. Recreation is my next big hurdle, for sure. So I think what I'll start to do is to make... I want to wear the human leather, so I'm going to make chairs out of non-human. We got another Tory Talker vote. Gold, small raid, or heat wave. Okay, so the stockpile here is sufficiently cold. Which is good. This zone should not allow insect meat. All these pesky little settings, right? I'm gonna make the chair here, so we actually make it. I'll have Wolf finish it off. I think his construction's higher. Yep, it is. Does the heat wave melt the ice? No. The ice is sort of permanent no matter how hot it gets. All the heat wave would do is to raise the ambient temperature a bit, but not by much. Okay, so there's an armchair for Glitch to sit on. What else do we got? Some more cloth. We don't have bulk. Other than human leather, we don't really have bulk leathers. Just small stacks here and there. I could turn it into patch leather if I needed to, but yeah, I think it's best if I just leave it be. Alright, Glitch, how's it going? Almost got complex clothing. Okay, next big one, maybe smithing? Yeah, probably, or carpet making, given the cloth that you've been sending. Oh, we've got Bakumtuk. Ooh, 4 of them. 4 Bakumtuk coming in. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to move. I could have just repainted it. Move my slag. For a little bit better cover. And another raid, the Abenaki from the west. Alright, what I want to do is try to lure these guys, because I don't think they're going to steal anything. Nothing is of particular value to them outside, and if they do end up stealing, it's not worth very much. So let's line up. I'm obviously going to need some proper defenses at some point. And we have yet another raid of Providentia, the pirates. Oh, we got one knocked out. Alright, so this guy's coming in from the east. I'll let my rangers finish this off. Alright, you. Are you a cannibal? No. You are a psychopath. It's close, but not quite there. Let's strip you. You are Also strip worthy. But your food. And the Providentia is from the southwest. Gigabosh. Creepy breather tough. Are you a cannibal? Nope, just a nudist. You have a knife? Oh boy, you're so dead. Can't chase both of us. I guess you can. Wolf is not that fast because he's hurt. Splat. Who brings a knife to a nail fight? Fools. Fools do. Now, I am eventually planning on using this deep water for protection to make it much, much more difficult to attack us properly. Curse Black. Down goes another raider. Or would-be raider. Sylvanti, are you Bloodlust? No. Wolf, you're Bloodlust. Let's kill these people for a mood boost. Were you a cannibal? Nope. Wow. Took a beating, that one. So all this added bone, this is going to allow us to make a bone hand tailor bench, which will be very good for our clothing. Boy, that leather. Oh man. Alright, Wolf. Looks like you're actually kind of awake. So Glitch is also our crafter, so I'm gonna ask of him to craft us some clothing. So the things I want to do is, let's do a skull mask with Glitch, drop on floor, and then let's create a temporary stockpile. Make this low and allow apparel. And I am going to want pants and shirts made of human leather. Just a little reminder that, of course, cannibals, they like to wear human leather. Most people obviously don't. Cannibals do. And this will be take to temp crafting. And I first probably want to give Glitch dibs for the first set of clothing. And then thereafter, spread it to the hunters that are probably going to need insulation. Because I want to start to run trade runs out to the Algonquin Wendigos. And I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm frozen every time I step outside. Oh, we have enough bones for the skull mask. I was going to start to give bone skull masks. Let me do the mask last. To the brawlers. That'll be fun. Okay, so now, Glitch here, I can clear the forcewear. Is wearing a full set of human leather stuff. And if you check his needs, it's +4 because he's wearing human leather. And I'll just keep cranking out human leather clothing for everybody. Trying to keep our cannibals nice and happy. Alright, the next one I want is maybe... Oh, Sylvanti got it. That's fine by me. I just wanted a hunter to grab it. Of course, tribal leather does offer better insulation properties than pants and shirts, but the pants and shirts are 2 pieces of clothing, which makes them happier. So it might not be the warmest you can be, but it is... you're also better protected. Right. Any wildlife? No wildlife. Alright, wolf. Force wear that. Unhappy nudity because you kind of don't have pants. Oh, but you will. Okay. There are my hunter's clothing. And soon here what I'm going to want to do is to differentiate between what the hunters can wear and what the brawlers can wear. Alright, so here's Perpetual Ox in a... I don't know if he's going to automatically take that off, but what this helmet or mask does is it raises the pain shock threshold, so they're harder to knock down. Which is a pretty important trait to have when you're ripping and tearing. Call it what it is. Okay, I think at this point, I am going to make all of my meals human meat, but I want to suspend this until I'm out of meals so that they don't mix, that the whole stack is human meat, so that I can rely on the mood benefit. Because, yeah, Chelsea just ate some elephant. Not quite the same. So how's the music and sound levels for you all? Ox here, 25 degrees. So it's still too cold. I'm definitely going to need parkas. Any melee weapons for an upgrade? Yeah, that will be the next thing I'm going to be working on. So right now we are, of course, researching carpet making, but I could retool to smithing. The problem is a fueled smithy is very expensive because you have to feed wood into it. So it's going to be pretty cost prohibitive to run improved melee weapons until we've got electricity. Unless we want to drain our wood supply, because it's always a good idea to have backup wood. So here you go. As you can see, clubs and knives are pretty much all I can do at present. And if I wanted to do anything more, it'd have to be... Oh, here's another Tory Talker vote. It'd have to be, you know, with some sort of smithy, but a fueled smithy is pretty prohibitively expensive, as I said. I also need to start thinking about security. Bone barricades are probably pretty poor. But another thing I could do... So using up this path here would be a goal of mine. If any of you are familiar with the Silverfang Vengeance and Silverfang Hunters, that was a tactic I used with great benefit in the past. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is a parka made with human leather. I have enough for one. Thank you for watching the premiere of The Wendigos, which aired live July 11th on Twitch. If you'd like to catch a live stream of this, just go to Rhadamant.com for my stream schedule. I stream this series every Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.